Hi everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of I Read It Online Somewhere. This week's episode is a compilation from I Read It Online Somewhere Season 1. That's right, we plan to have more than one. So in preparation for the next, we thought we'd bring you some of our favourite moments from the show. We hope you enjoy them, and look forward to teaching you more about science again soon. Enjoy! Welcome to I Read It Online Somewhere, your science questions answered.
No doubt. Right, welcome. Bringing the energies. Welcome to episode 20 of... What's wrong with my energies?
That was out of nowhere.
I'm bringing my A game. Come on, A-Dog, let's go.
Who's A-Dog, me or Andrew?
All right, you're A-Cat.
A-Cat?
Yeah. I don't know, what do you want to be? Pick an animal.
Oh, llama.
Okay, right, we'll go with it. Welcome to episode 20 of I Read It Online Somewhere. Your first protocol for the weird science questions you're too scared to ask. Like, no, we've had that already. I always do this.
Well, it was me that wrote it.
Yeah, but you didn't replace the question at the top.
I'm sacked.
Right. Welcome to episode 20 of I Read It Online Somewhere. Your first no energy, man. Anyway, I've got this.
Energy. And it's spelled N-R-G. I was trying to get like a good picture for Christmas lights, but...
I'm Ross, and I'm joined by my science teacher friend, A-Dog Andrew. And a science teacher's worst nightmare, a llama, she picked that herself, Amy.
Oh, people are not going to know about this.
Right, we're going to start this week's podcast with what we're going to do every week is what I read online this week.
So this is the headline that I read. Are you ready?
Yeah, ready.
Okay, so fattening up pigeons by feeding them bread in the park could make them more aggressive because heavier birds are the most dominant. Study finds.
Okay, this is quite awkward because that was my story.
Hey, we should get married.
Spoiler, it's those two.
Okay, well we could just combine ours then.
Yeah, let's I've got another one, so we're good. But let's discuss that. So the bigger the pigeon is, and angrier it gets. Is that correct?
Well, I don't know if it was. It says it's the most dominant, so I think like. You know, it's like the guys in the gym that are like on steroids and huge, and they're like naturally more aggressive. Does the bread have that kind of effect? Surely they're just going around a bit bloated.
Well, yeah, maybe.
And maybe because they get threatened by like what's the thing of pigeons? A flock?
A human?
Oh, no, maybe they get like threatened by like the smaller pigeons to like show dominance. So.
Oh, that actually sounds like it is a real thing.
Look at me, like being really sciencey. Out-scienced you. No, so it says here that it makes them more aggressive because heavier birds are the most dominant.
Oh, okay, so it's more about showing your size versus... more about showing your size to elicit the dominance in the hierarchy of birds. Because birds have it's a hierarchy, sorry. So like a pecking order, you see that in chickens.
Pun intended.
Yes.
Can I just say though, the bullet points underneath are a bit weird. So it says here that the study was for 17 birds, 8 males, 9 females, and when adding weight to some of the pigeons, became more aggressive. So I was thinking, what do you mean by weight? And it says when the weights are removed from the pigeons, they step back. I'm not being funny, but if they've got like weights tied to their legs.
What sort of bird gym is this?
Yeah, well, I think I'd be aggressive if I was told to go and fly around with like 15 kilograms or something trapped to me. So
yeah, gyms are supposed to be shut guys.
Yeah, what are the pigeons doing? They're doing
games.
Yeah.
I think one good thing to point out from this is you mentioned how many pigeons there were, so 8 and 9. So that's not really a big study to do.
Small sample size.
Yeah, it's a very small sample size. So while they've maybe made some sort of scientific conclusion, I would want this done on at least 100 pigeons in the gym before I can agree that the bigger they are, or the feeding them bread makes them more aggressive.
Before
Yes,
they
guys.
evolve to pidgeots.
This is right. Statistics are super important when it comes to sample sizes.
Yeah.
Do you know what's funny though? There'll be like a Karen that's in like a pub. Well, she won't be in a pub at the moment, especially she's up in Aberdeen.
She'd just be out,
Sore subject.
out complaining without her face mask on.
If there's like a Karen telling her friend, do you know I read this story that like if you feed birds, they get more aggressive and they'll attack you. Because that's all she's reading is this headline where it's actually, no, it's nothing to do with food, it's they've attached weights. I think that's what's making them aggressive. I don't think it's anything to do with the food.
I mean, I probably would agree with you, except I remember one time at university and I was walking through the middle of the quad and a seagull came out, swooped out over and took my sandwich. I think I came home and told you two about it.
That's Aberdeen though, the seagulls are actually on steroids. Like
They are big seagulls.
they are a different breed up in Aberdeen. So what are we saying? Are we saying we don't think this is accurate enough to confirm?
I don't think it is, but mostly based on Ross's point of it's a very small sample size. So it's hard to make a generalised sweeping statement like that.
Oh, I've got a really quick bird question actually. Just what I'm thinking. I was told when I was younger that if you feed birds raw rice, they die because their stomach explodes, or if you give them bicarbonate of soda. Is that true?
Well, bicarbonate of soda would be the opposite, because if their
So it
stomachs are acidic,
Yeah, so it would react
it would
with the
shoot gas.
So that's more likely to do it than the rice.
Yeah,
The rice, maybe just because it's dried, if it gets wet, it'll expand
it
a
would
bit.
expand.
And then they'll get
Just
really
become
aggressive because they'll weigh loads.
I would say that would cause more of a rupture than an explosion. But
Yeah,
I'm not an expert on pigeon explosions.
man, we are really making this podcast about birds, aren't we?
Right,
We're
well,
really pushing this agenda. Amy.
so we're saying this one's we're a bit
We're saying this is-
skeptical, not sure.
We need like a room 101 where we put it,
Yeah,
but I don't know what we're going to call it. We need to work on that.
The bad
The
side.
mallard.
the mallard, mallard mistakes.
My story this week is grey reef sharks form lasting friendships according to scientists who found that predators meet with the same group after a night of hunting.
Oh,
So I think after they go hunting, they basically go down the pub, down the local reef and hang out.
like that's quite cool.
I thought it was quite cool.
And these
quite
are different
interesting.
from great whites. They're grey reef sharks.
Grey reef sharks, yeah. I don't know
They
what
look
kind of
very
shark they
similar.
are, yeah, but I thought it was quite nice to.
That's quite sweet. I didn't think sharks were very sociable. Maybe they meet up though because like the people that they've chosen are good at hunting, so it's not really a like friendship thing. It's more
Maybe just
they're
to
just good at getting food.
yeah, or discussing tactics maybe.
Yeah.
Oh hey Fred, what did you do? Oh well, I went for the jugular and oh Sarah, oh
Specific.
I lured them
Is there
into
different ways of killing?
some sort of biting motion. Yeah, I don't know. They're sharks. I'm not a shark.
So what would be your method? If you were a shark, what would you be saying down the reef to...
To
Let's say
Steve.
we were meeting down the reef. How would you tell me about your day hunting? What method did you use to hunt?
Oh wait, oh hey guys. So I just killed I just ate a shark, a fish. Looked like a shark, but actually it was the lensing effect of water. And I saw them and I thought, oh, do you know what? I watched this TikTok the other day. I'm gonna boop it on the nose. Boom, dead. Sonar. I use sonar. Sharks don't use sonar. That's
Sharks
a terrible,
don't use sonar. No.
a terrible thing for a biologist to say. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I take my point.
Are they
Right,
not?
so-
Are they not blind though?
I don't think they're blind. They've got a very good sense of...
They're very
Like,
good at
sensing blood.
yeah, sensing
I think
blood.
they can see, but they don't use their eyes necessarily to hunt.
Yeah, it's
I
more
had an-
scent.
I had an irrational fear as like a 15-year-old girl that if you go into the sea when your period is with you, that you're just gonna get eaten by a shark.
It seems irrational, but it also seems relatively logical.
Okay, I'm not going to the sea again.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't,
Once a month.
I don't think it's true. But you know,
Yeah, maybe.
You
keep
never
it.
know.
Must make sense.
yeah.
Right, so what I would say if I was coming back from my day of hunting is I think sharks, their tactic they use for hunting is they circle what they want to eat first.
Mhm.
So if you see a shark circling you, That's because they're trying to. The way sharks like bite is they sort of swim forward, bite, and then swim through. So they like sort of push forward as hard as they can. So they circle you first to make sure there's space behind, so that they can actually do their sort of biting and swim through movement.
So it's literally like the kind of newer cars that have got parking sensors or like cameras, and they can sense like what's around them. They've just got. I can just imagine like a beep going through their head, like if they're getting really close. It's like beep 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 beep.
Yeah, I also feel like that, like they move forward. Kind of sounds similar to what I said about booping them
And
but
something about
missed
shoulder.
You
and then,
missed the
and then
circling round.
biting them. I feel what you just said. Plus, there was no characters. Your story was great, but it lacked the characterization.
It did. I'm sorry. I didn't mention.
It was too
TikTok either.
sciencey.
Yeah. So I'm going to start off with a question. Why do zebras have stripes, Amy?
So people don't think that they're donkeys.
Okay.
I don't know. I would
I did
say,
put you on the spot there. So.
or like, obviously I'm joking. I don't know. I mean, animals usually have like different colors and stuff because it's like either camouflage, but I don't know what they're quite camouflaging for, or is it just to like confuse their predators?
That seems sensible. Andrew,
Yeah.
what do you think?
I would probably say that they have it for camouflage, but I feel like there's a tiny bit of like pattern recognition, like barcode jokes about like that they can recognize each other from their patterns. But I'm not
so
too
it's
sure.
it's to help zebras identify their mates.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Well, according to a new paper published in the journal Proceedings of the Royal Society B, one of the reasons they might have stripes is to help them dazzle flies to stop them getting parasites.
Oh.
Oh, like you mean flies are like? I'm really intrigued.
So horseflies want to sort of nip down, have a bit of blood, and in doing so, sometimes they pass on a parasite to the zebra, and the parasite could cause it to die.
Oh.
So what it's suggesting here is by having the stripes, they did tests just with rugs. They had striped rugs and unstriped rugs, and the flies just flew into the striped ones. They couldn't tell how close they were.
Uh-huh.
Whereas the plain one, which would be something like a horse or an antelope, they could tell how close they were, so they could land and then they could start sucking blood.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
So it's just one of the theories. Because if you think about it, if you look at the surroundings of a zebra, it could help with the camouflage, but it almost makes them stand out a little bit.
Yeah.
But obviously they can run quite fast, so they can get away from most predators. So yeah, maybe the stripes are to stop flies eating on them.
interesting that they're the only animal that are similar to them, like a donkey. Like donkeys don't have that.
No, they don't. But
But where
maybe the
are
horse
zebras
or-
from though? They're from like Africa. They're in Madagascar.
You can find them in I
South
think
Africa?
you can find them in it's mostly Central Africa.
And Southern Africa, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe it's with the heat they've more likely to get horseflies, and donkeys. Don't know where they're from.
Yeah, I
Live in
suppose,
the UK and
yeah. Tsetse fly,
There's a
maybe?
donkey in Bethlehem.
there was a
That
donkey in
is-
Bethlehem.
yeah, that's true. There was. Mm-hmm.
So I
Cool, that
I
was an
thought
interesting
quite
one.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Okay, we're going to go into our last story this week, which is Andrew.
Hello. Okay, so guys, mine is called. It is a little bit scary, and the nights are getting darker. We're coming close to Halloween, and the title of mine was scary enough. Lifeless objects stare at you everywhere. A new study explains why they won't quit. Now, this is a phenomena that I'm just gonna double check how I pronounce again, called Paradolia. Okay, now this thing of Paradolia is where we can see faces in lifeless objects. So I'm not talking about like Buzz and Woody are like sitting across from you and they're staring at you. They obviously have real faces. Not real faces. They're not. Oh, this is confusing. But where you see faces in like pots and pans,
or like
Or is it like the thing you see like old photographs and you see a face in the background, but it's just the sort of smudgings make it look
yeah, or
there's a face there.
on the article it's really funny. Like they've got like tons of pictures, and it's like where there's like two holes in a brick, and then there's like a smaller hole in the middle that makes the two eyes and the mouth. So it's or if you look at like a plug socket, it's the human's ability to we're programmed in our minds to recognize faces and then use that recognition to sort of determine whether or not this thing is a danger. But it's so ingrained in our system, this evolutionary advantage about detecting faces, that we actually just start to detect faces everywhere. So if you've ever done that one of where I think sometimes you can see it, I've seen it going around like Facebook and Instagram recently of it's a bit of wood that looks like an ostrich has run into it, or sometimes you see like Sid the Sloth in a bit of wood, and it's because what you're doing is your brain is actually detecting the face, which is quite cool. I think it's quite cool to sort of see faces everywhere.
Do you know what? I actually knew this because I studied it at uni. We did. This is my third year abroad, and I was not sober for most of it. So this is all I can remember. All I can remember was it was a guy called Gestalt, who came up with this theory that our brain is programmed to see faces, and we actually went to go and see Richard. What's his name?
Richard Wiseman.
I was going to say Richard Dawkins, but
another scientist, but different.
Richard Wiseman.
Yeah, Richard Wiseman. He's written a book, Paranormality, which is sort of one of my favourite books, and it talks about this. And actually, it's why a lot of people think they see ghosts, is because, as you mentioned earlier, we're evolutionarily programmed to see faces.
Well, yeah,
because
I suppose it's like seeing, like the face of Jesus or the face of Mary Magdalene, like in things.
Yeah.
Like toast. It's quite common. But yeah, it's absolutely fascinating that this is like a thing. I love the brain. The brain is one of my favorite topics to teach about, and I think it's just fascinating all of these things that happen. So yeah, try and look out for some faces staring back at you from lifeless objects. Yeah, so my information this week, or my thing I read online this week, comes from Reddit. And the title of my little post says, "Your tongue knows exactly how everything you lick will feel."
Oh.
Or how, or your tongue knows exactly how everything you look at will feel. Oh. So say, for example, guys, if you look at the pop shield that's on the microphones, right? You literally know what that would be like to lick.
I've just licked it.
Okay,
no,
Ross,
but that makes sense because you would know.
In times of pandemic, please don't lick stuff. Just look at it and think, I already know what that's going to be like.
That is true. So
yeah, I know, it's
obviously
weird.
But surely it's our brain that is telling us, it's not our tongue.
Well, so I can only assume that it's associated with touch anyway.
Touch, yeah. So
that you already
what it feels like for your hands.
Yeah, exactly. So you already know what it's going to feel like. Therefore, you can just like imagine what it's going to be like on your tongue.
Yeah, so it's like a damp hand, just like drooling across.
Yeah, but like it is weird. Like I'm looking at the keyboard and I'm thinking, yeah, the grooves in that keyboard. Like I know exactly what they'll be like to lick. Like, but it's weird, and yet kind of like, oh yeah. And then I was on TikTok and I saw someone with the video too, and they were talking about the same thing. So it's
or is it just cool. When we're younger we all lick so much stuff that we actually know what everything feels like?
Yeah, but I've never licked a pine cone, but I know what it would feel like to lick a pine cone.
Bet you've licked a pine cone in your time. You look like such a pine cone licker.
Pine cone licker.
We've got a younger son, and he has
a younger son.
tried everything in his life.
Is there something you've not told me?
Yeah, a younger son than the one you have.
Who, to be honest, he just puts everything in his mouth, like everything and anything. But that's part of
and when he gets upset, he like licks a car, or licks a wall.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like if we tell him off, he'll just go up and like lick a wall. Don't know why.
Maybe a comfort thing, but yeah, I think we probably do a lot of experimenting when we're younger, but we don't actually remember it, but your brain does a bit as well.
I suppose. I'm not, but I don't know.
Like, I'm picturing looking at my table, and I can totally feel what it feels like, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Almost
We're
so
all
much
just picturing
that
licking
I've licked
everything.
it before.
I know. But
You
like,
know when you drop a bit of ketchup
think
and you
about
lick it up? Like,
think about
it's a bit like that.
licking your jumper or your t-shirt or something. Like you might not have licked that, but you would know what that would feel like to lick. You just lick
Ross just really
your
creepily,
shoulder.
as if he's in the fall, is just licking his t-shirt next to me, and I'm really creeped out.
Well, I'm more creeped out on FaceTime because there's a really close up section that's popping out behind sort of everything else. Oh my word.
Yeah, that was creepy. It must be something to do. It must be a couple of your senses.
Yeah, I think
It must be.
For the tape, Ross just licked Amy's shoulder, and she's wearing this
And
fuzzy
I really
top.
tried to be professional and carry on, but Andrew was so shocked.
You've got a very interesting top on.
I've
so I
got
just
like a
wanted to see
fluffy
what-
pajama top on, so that was.
Was it
really
like?
creepy.
Was it Ross? As if
That was it.
you,
That was
like,
the only thing in the room I could see.
Did
that
it-
gone,
did it
I
feel
don't
as if-
actually know what that would be like.
Did it feel as if you were going to lick like a muppet? Did it feel like Elmo?
No,
What
I
are you
imagine-
calling me?
No, I'm just saying like Muppets are kind of fuzzy. Did it feel like licking Elmo?
I feel on
I
edge.
don't know. I feel like they're smoother than this is.
I'm kind of just getting insulted here. I've not got smooth clothes. I look like a muppet.
No, just your clothes.
I'm married to someone that just goes around licking t-shirts.
For science, it's all for science.
You find Ross tomorrow out licking t-shirts on people. It's for science.
Honestly, this is how like serial killers start. Just
But
something creepy to get interested in.
You can't bring up a fact like that and not try it out. And I
know.
bet other people that are listening have gone and then just seen something nearby and had a little lick.
Yeah, well,
and they go,
right. I will
Yeah,
stand.
that's
Right,
exactly what
I
I
don't
expected.
agree. So if anyone has licked their t-shirt or licked something that's nearby, can you please let us know?
I will stand in solidarity, and I just licked.
no,
I lit.
stop.
I did. I licked the pops thing.
Can everyone please stop licking things?
Going to move on to the next story, which is me. So,
I changed the script so that I would go after Andrew. You've changed it back.
the next story we read online is Amy.
Did you try and change it?
I'll just
You didn't
mix
try.
it
You
up,
did
know?
change it.
I changed it so I would go second.
I can see it. It's written here. He did change it. It's there. It says
I was just
Andrew
mixing it
Ross
up,
Amy.
like-
Yeah, but I'd already mixed it up.
Yeah,
'cause
well, I didn't know that, did I? These
Oh,
joint
you
documents.
guys.
Okay. So my headline is Top 10 UK places most likely to survive zombie apocalypse. And this was done by I think it was like a university or someone did a study on it. So Edinburgh features in the top 10. Where do you think it features?
9.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go for 4.
7.
Oh.
It is based on outdoor space. How many outdoor space you have, how many recycling centres you have, and how many electrical charging points you have.
Wait, I'm sorry. Recycling centers. What's that got to do with
Honestly, I don't
zombies?
know.
Are you confusing zombie apocalypse with environmental apocalypse?
Honestly, I don't know, but it must just
So
be
electrical charging ports, recycling centres.
Well, think about if you did live in an apocalyptic world.
Yeah.
But where would you put all your rubbish? And there was no one to come and collect your bins, so to have a big place where you could go would be quite ideal.
But wait, Amy.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know.
no
if-
one's
if-
emptying it.
Like, if have you ever seen like the start of a zombie apocalypse film? Like most of the time, it's just a
Shaun of
wasteland.
the Dead.
Oh, fair
Shaun
enough.
of the Dead. Well, yeah, because they're all recycling their rubbish.
Or they're not. No, but it's a wasteland. Like everything's rubbish. They're
Oh,
not.
well,
They're not
well,
recycling.
then they're bad places. And also onshore wind farms and farmland.
Okay,
the-
so you
you
can
get
generate
farmland.
You can generate power, and then you've got somewhere that you can make food.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? So number 1 was Cambridge,
The place with all the boats.
the place with all the boats.
Renowned for its wind farms?
Yeah, I don't know. It must be onshore wind farms. And then Swansea.
I'm very suspicious of this article.
No,
I
wait,
just
give
don't get-
us the other ones. We want to hear the other ones. We want to rip them to shreds.
Can you guess them?
Oxford.
No.
Ugh, London?
No, London wouldn't be good. Remember, it's done in like open spaces as well.
Open space. Offshore wind farms. Aberdeen.
Onshore wind farms.
Onshore wind farm.
Aberdeen is not there.
Right.
No,
no
one. Aberdeen looks like a post.
The Highlands, because like we've got onshore wind farms
No.
And recycling centres.
and loads of space.
No. Oh my god. So there's another place in Scotland. Another kind of city you've not mentioned.
Dundee.
Yeah,
It's
number 8.
always Dundee. Always Dundee.
So
Always
you
Dundee.
jump on the Discovery and you're safe.
Hide in the V&A. No one will find you in there.
So that was my story. I thought it was quite cool though.
That is cool. But
They've actually done
I'm
something.
so confused why, because recycling centres only work if there's people there to man the recycling centre.
well, I
During
don't.
an
I,
apocalypse,
somehow I
there's-
feel like.
there's not that many people.
I mean, I think the
But-
recycling centres is quite random.
But I do. I feel like zombies aren't really. Yeah, they're not really geared up to put plastics and plastics. They're probably
also
mixed.
the
They probably have
electric.
mixed recycling. Ugh. the
Well, maybe
worst.
it's something to do with the air quality. They said it's based on air quality as well, so maybe being able to, I don't know.
But the electric points for your car, there's not going to be anyone producing electricity, so you can't charge your car.
The wind farms?
That's the only thing that's sensible. But then there's no point in having a random charging point. You need to connect that directly to your wind farm. I'm not sure that's easy to do.
I don't know.
Need some sort of transformer. I've got a bit of a engineering background.
You could question them.
Yeah. What's the website?
Apparently, Cambridge here is being described as leafy. Leafy Cambridge.
That's what you need during a zombie apocalypse. So, let's do the big news of the week. So, the big news of the week is the...
Andrew didn't record the podcast. It's going to say Godcast there.
No,
by
that's a
accident.
different thing.
Whole different thing.
That's released on a Sunday. So, let's move on to what we read online this week. And we're going to start this week with Andrew. Take 2, off you go.
Take
right,
about
okay, sorry.
97.
So let me ask you guys, as if I don't already know, are you morning larks or night owls?
That just sounds like because you just sleep with us. As if I don't know how your guys' sleep pattern.
Yeah,
Call me
you,
Alexa.
you live 150 miles away.
Is that how far you live away?
Yeah, it's
Is it not
200
longer?
miles. 208. I
Oh,
mean,
hello.
200, around about that, not so specific that I really know all the details.
I'm surprised you weren't like, it's the whole Hamilton soundtrack twice.
It's true.
So I am a night owl.
Oh.
What are you, Amy?
I am
A morning lark?
morning lark.
What's a lark?
And a morning laugh.
Well, guys, turns out scientists say you might not be. So, the scientists, sorry, just the scientists, the
All
people
the
who do,
scientists.
just the people who
Those
do
lads.
science, the scientists, have discovered there actually might be 6 what we call chronotypes, which are all to do with your activity throughout the day, based on your circadian rhythm. So I'm just going to run through all the different types. So it goes from low energy to high energy. So morning types have lots of high energy in the morning, and then over the day they drop down to low energy at night.
Definitely not me.
Evening types are low energy in the morning, and they move in a diagonal up to high energy in an
be
evening.
me.
Not me.
You've got a highly active type who are pretty much high all the time. High energy,
maybe.
that is.
Not me.
Um,
Maybe it used to be back in the day.
And
2010,
then,
Amy.
The moderately active type actually have low energy pretty much all day. So I don't
Yeah,
really understand
me.
how they're moderately active. Then you've got daytime type, which is low in the morning, high in the afternoon, and then lower in the evening. And then you've got my favourite ones, daytime sleepy type.
Ooh,
Oh.
what's this one?
Daytime sleepy type are high in the morning, pretty low in the afternoons, and then a little bit higher in the evenings.
Maybe that's what I am.
Yeah, I reckon I'm like that. I always find like I work pretty well in the morning, in the afternoon, like after lunch, a bit of a crash, and then try and have a nap when I come home from work, and then if I'm allowed to, and then
No.
then wake up for the evening.
You're also you used to not be a morning person. You were not a morning lark.
I was not. No,
You were just this owl back
having a
from
kid
hunting.
changed this. Yeah, changed me.
Not changed me. I'm just a person.
It used to be like during the holidays and stuff. I would barely get up before like 11 or 12 o'clock.
It was, and then just go and play Xbox. It was so annoying.
And then just before Amy came home
Sounds
from work,
perfect.
I would do some housework.
You'd do everything, like absolutely everything that you needed to do in that.
In
I'd be
20
running around.
minutes.
Amy would come back. I'd be sweating and be like, "Oh, I've been working all day." Oh. But no, yeah, now, yeah, my body clock just wakes up at 7 o'clock, and then, but yeah, I definitely feel like I crash after lunch.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have a crash. If you eat a lot and stuff as well, you get a wee bit crashy.
Yeah, I do quite enjoy an afternoon nap, to be honest.
Oh, I love an afternoon nap.
So are you a daytime sleepy person too?
I think I am a daytime sleepy person.
Is everybody a daytime sleepy person? And
Well-
to just
I think probably with the current like daylight savings hours and like darkness times and all that sort of stuff, winter. It's called, Andrew. It's called winter. So daylight darkness times. That everybody maybe like feels a little bit sleepy in the afternoon because I mean like it's dark up here. It's dark at like 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
the same here.
Like it's absolutely crazy. And then you come home and you're like, oh, it's only like 4:30, and you're like, oh, should I go to bed? Do I get dinner? I don't know. Sure. What do I do? And then you have a danger nap, so then you don't really know how long you're gonna nap for, and then you
Always
wake
set
up
an
and you
alarm.
think,
Always
Yeah,
set
but-
an alarm.
if you say like set an alarm, and then you're like, you panic because then I think the alarm's gonna go off all the time.
Yeah, you never sleep as well, do you?
Yeah.
But I always find you get, if you're having a daytime nap, advice here for everyone daytime napping. I used to do swimming when I was younger, so you'd do your early morning training, and then a vital part of your day would be getting a nap in at some point. And your nap time was either less than 20 minutes or an hour and a half, and it couldn't be
Why'd you always pick the
anything
hour
in
and a half?
between.
An hour and a half.
Yeah,
It's
because
to
that's
do
like
with
a,
your sleep
that's a full
cycles.
sleep cycle.
Like you'd be more awake if you just had a 20-minute nap than if you had an hour one. Because in an hour one you've gone into deep sleep, whereas in a 20-minute one you wouldn't go into deep sleep, but you would kind of feel rested. So you should try not to nap for longer than 20 minutes. I mean, hour and a half is taking the piss.
Yeah.
That's basically
during the
like
day.
that's like a full night's sleep. For some
With a
people,
1-year-old.
for some people who nap a lot during the day.
See, that's the only thing though that I find. If I nap in the middle of the day, then when it comes to like proper bedtime, like I can't get to sleep. Like I'm absolutely wired. So actually, I think I am a
can't.
daytime sleepy person.
You know, I nap pretty much every Saturday and Sunday
Really,
during the day, and I can go to sleep at like 9 o'clock if I need to.
Saturday and Sundays are not the days I go sleepy time. Don't know why I'm calling it sleepy time. But like midweek. But I think that's mental exhaustion.
That's one of my favourite facts here. Is that because teachers make more minute-to-minute decisions than a brain surgeon?
Maybe.
Ooh, probably because they're not brain surgerying all the time.
Oh no, I think it's just when you're teaching all the time, you have to think, right, that kid's doing that. How do I react to that? Do I make a big deal of this? Do I not? And that's not even thinking about delivering your curriculum or whatever you have to do. So it's
Yeah.
quite full on teaching.
Demanding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like immensely.
Especially if you've got a class that's not very good at behaving. If your classes behave well, it's fine.
It's just like babysitting, but like 20 people.
yeah.
But you need to know. You also need to know the science stuff if they're asking you questions, or like, I'd find the maths
Yeah.
the hardest.
It's like that. Well, it's
Any
like
maths.
it's all that stuff, and then you've got safety. Like,
Yeah.
oh no, right? Oh, they're swinging on their chair. Oh, quick! Tell them the story about that time where that guy fell over and cracked his head
Died.
open.
What
Quick,
school did
tell
he go
them.
to? He went to another school.
Another school that I
If
worked
someone
in.
my cousin knew, it was.
Oh, quick! Make them put on the safety goggles. It's war.
We're boiling water quickly. Put the goggles on and stand up.
That sounds bad, but I'm like a really horrible person when it comes to all this stuff. I'm like, no.
Well,
just
you
come
have
on.
to be. That's
Yeah.
part of our job. We need to.
Get the Bunsen burners out.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's all I remember from science.
And that's why we're running this podcast. So we're going to move on to the second story we read online this week, which is Amy. Tell us all about your.
Ooh, forgot
story.
that I have to read this. Okay, I'll read you the headline.
Okay.
Oh, oh no, it's coming back. Okay, so wear of the dog, like hair of the dog, but a bit of a pun.
Why on earth are you explaining that to us?
Well, high-tech mask that sobers you up is 3 times... Wait, sorry. I'm doing a Ross. High-tech mask that sobers you up 3 times faster than normal is invented by scientists.
So why is the dog wearing the mask?
You're going to mention the dog.
Let's say where
The
is the
Sun
dog?
have even put it in grey and the rest is in black to show you that it's a pun. It's like their code. So the idea is it's like a mask that you would have in the hospital for like oxygen, but it inputs, is that the right word? Inputs gas
I
that
Can
I mean, I've told you guys what it is, which is annoying.
I know, I'm really sorry. On another completely separate note, did your cat just walk in and open the door?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Poop my pants that it was a ghost or someone
Imagine
coming in for a live session.
imagine if our lights just went off.
I know.
You'd be like, oh my god.
So
the mask.
The mask
So
was
I
on.
put some sort of gas. What sort of gas?
We'll guess, tell me.
I would guess at something with oxygen, because if you don't have oxygen, you're going to die.
Interesting. So if I just inhaled something like, let me just say, a cheeky hydrogen, I would just die.
You probably, so when you breathe, you don't fully expel all the gas in your lungs.
So I'd have some oxygen.
You'd still have some
Yeah.
oxygen. So if you took one breath, that's not going to do it. If you took a couple of breaths, that probably wouldn't be very good for
But my body makes carbon.
you. No.
Well, how am I getting rid of carbon? How does it get oxygen in and then carbon dioxide goes out?
Carbon dioxide comes out, yes.
Yes, my body must make carbon.
Right, respiration, Andrew, go.
Respiration unknown,
So-
known.
Yeah, so your body, as your body, okay. So as your body breaks down, anybody in my higher class who's listening, this is really good revision.
Oh, it's
for
higher.
your prelim.
Oh.
So
I do
as
this with my S1s.
your body breaks down, you don't go into this level of detail. Anyway, your
We do respiration.
so
Maybe not
as
this level.
as glucose is broken down, it's turned into lots of other things. So we'll do the S1 version. It's broken
Yeah.
down into lots of other things, and then at the end, as that glucose is being made into energy, the ATP molecule, it gives off carbon dioxide. So then the carbon dioxide has to come out of the cells. It comes out of the cells. It moves into the blood, and then that blood travels to the lungs, and then that's how you expel it. But the oxygen is required to actually make that whole thing happen. So it needs oxygen in. That gets broken down with the glucose to make the carbon dioxide, the energy, and then
Yeah.
the carbon dioxide travels back off to the lungs.
Oh, nice.
So is the gas carbon dioxide?
So it's carbon dioxide. Well done, Andrew. 10 points.
Thanks.
Although you're about minus 200 for not recording the podcast, so you're on minus 190. You're doing well. But yeah, so you basically Ross is just dropping things. He's minus 10 as well. So yeah, if you were drunk, you would then put this mask on, and then you do like short breaths, and it expels oxygen from your blood quicker, apparently. But they only tested this on
Oxygen,
5
alcohol.
alcohol. Sorry,
Yeah.
they only tested this on 5 people.
So like, can you buy it in shops yet, or is it
No, it's cost like $15,000. This mask,
for a mask?
and it's a briefcase of carbon dioxide. But I'm sure you could
That's
buy.
for dogs.
It's for a dog. Bonnie the dog from TikTok is taken off.
Sentient.
But yeah, I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah, well, but
Would you
should-
guys do that? I don't think I would, because
No,
it would
you
make me feel
shouldn't.
sick.
No.
You shouldn't be breathing in carbon dioxide.
Get yourself a Lucozade. Get yourself a McDonald's breakfast. You can order it online. Don't drive. And have a nap. We go back to the naps. Put on a Disney film. Cry into your pillow.
Or just don't drink as
have
much.
a nap.
Yeah.
Drink
sensible
responsibly.
drinking.
I am never that person that when I used to go out, come home like hammered, and drink a pint of water before I go to bed. People do that.
I did
I'm
that.
like
Pint of
fully
wa-
clothed,
pint of water and a
makeup
banana.
on, and a banana.
Yeah, pint of water and a banana for the potassium. I don't know. It did actually work. Like I was actually quite surprised.
Really?
Yeah, but
I am
I've only
usually
a couple
just
of
too
times have
drunk.
I not remembered. Once in this past year, don't remember getting home.
Okay.
And by home, I mean from the back room where my computer was, where we were having a Zoom party, to my bed, which was in the next room.
Don't remember.
2020 going home.
Chips
Woke
at home.
Woke up with a violin in the bed with me, fully clothed, no idea what was going on.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently I
Any
was 20.
bananas kicking about?
No, because I can't have. So this is the horrible thing. I can't really eat bananas.
Violin a
because
nickname for someone?
They give me heartburn, which is terrible.
We'll just take a Rennie.
Oh, that's not
He's on
strong
special
enough
stuff.
anymore. I'm on special stuff. I'm on the strong stuff.
Oh, so no bananas for you.
No bananas for me.
No. But yeah, anyway, I thought that was interesting and
That
I had
is
a pun.
cool.
That's
But
kind of my
I wouldn't. Please don't go around breathing in carbon dioxide straight from a canister.
to sober up.
No,
Yeah.
just anyway.
Okay, but they discovered this for people that have had carbon monoxide poisoning or people that like to help them get rid of the carbon dioxide.
No, yeah, carbon monoxide.
To get rid of to help them get rid of that.
Because that can be damaging for the cells.
And to help
Yeah.
people come round from anaesthetics quicker.
That's quite cool, actually.
But like it doesn't take that long to come round from an anaesthetic.
But I feel like it's one of those things of like, oh, we've got this really cool medical marvel thing. How can we fix hangovers? Like it just like
It's not something that needs that.
No,
Just
like
don't drink.
there are. We've made a vaccine in 10 months. Let's put our money and
Yeah.
efforts into that.
Yeah, things that are killing people.
Yeah.
Well,
Although-
I think they
though
made
some
this
hangovers
anyway.
do feel like they're gonna kill you.
But to test it on 5 people just to be like, yeah, I feel okay. I don't know, it's weird.
It's time for questions from the public.
So the next bit, as always, I have gathered some questions that people have asked us through various social channels. So I'm just going to ask you guys what they are, and we'll see if you guys actually know the answer. If not, we'll just have to ask people to Google it. So the first question is, what happens if a spaceman or woman goes into space and takes off their helmet?
Amy, what do you think is gonna happen?
Well, I think they're not going to survive because there's no oxygen. And when you don't have any oxygen, you die.
Yeah. It's
And
pretty-
there's no bees up there to make oxygen. Just a shout out to the bees for doing lots of good
just
work.
to clarify with everyone, bees do not make oxygen.
They do
And
in a
thank
roundabout
you
way.
for listening to the podcast. I read it online somewhere.
No, but they
and that is the end of our podcast.
Oh wow!
no,
5
I'm sorry,
episodes
but
in.
bees do make oxygen in a roundabout way because they help pollinate plants and plants make oxygen. Is that not why we are obsessed with bees?
So
That's
Ross,
like saying sperm causes war.
Beespiracy?
that's oh no.
Wait, why are we obsessed with bees then? Why do they say if bees die, we're all going to
Well,
die?
because
we don't get food.
Yeah, because we don't get food because bees pollinate the food. Pollinate the flowers to make the food.
To make oxygen.
Well-
What does food give us? Oxygen.
No.
And energy.
No. No. That's not. No.
Okay.
This will be
ignore
going
the
into.
bees.
This is totally going to go into our outtakes episode.
Ignore the bees in space. But yes, I think a space person would die if they took their helmet off. Because there's no oxygen.
An astronaut.
No other reasons.
Astronaut.
An astronaut.
Space person.
Okay. So I think what would happen here is certainly anything that's liquid is when there's no pressure, anything that's liquid is going to evaporate. It's going to turn into a gas.
So is that like if they were sweaty or if they
Sweaty,
had
or
a
like
bottle
your
of
tongue.
Evian?
So
What would actually happen if they had a bottle of Evian?
it would just turn into gas, and you just wouldn't know.
More oxygen.
I believe that's called sublimation.
Uh,
No, it's not. It's called evaporation.
it's
Never
not.
mind.
and the second ed to our podcast.
I'm a terrible scientist.
Okay, sorry.
So
like
the liquids would evaporate into a gas. So on your eyes, so there's like your tears and your cornea, that would turn into gas, and anything in your like mouth, that would turn into gas. And in doing that, it would sort
what gas?
it's steam, but not.
That is
hot
not.
steam.
I'm sorry. Where's steam on the periodic table?
It's water.
Do you mean
gas?
water vapor?
The water vapor.
So
is
as in
probably better.
H2O. So we're talking 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen here.
That is water. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you would turn into. So I'm sorry. What about my bottle?
That's only in your tongue.
But what about my bottle of Evian?
It's
It's already
turning into
water,
gas.
so it's just turning more into
So as
more
soon
water.
as you open that, it turns into gas and it's gone.
Right.
What will happen to you is you'll probably just expand. Like your skin will hold you in place, but you'll expand.
God, this is
Um,
like lockdown, just
I
expanding.
don't know if like stuff like Guardians of the Galaxy that show you freezing. That would depend on where you are. So if you were sort of close to the sun, actually you get quite a lot of radiation. So it might actually heat you up. But if you're further away from the sun, yeah, you will sort of turn into a popsicle stick and then just continue moving as a popsicle stick for the rest of eternity. Because you wouldn't biodegrade at all. You wouldn't sort of fall apart. And
Ooh. What happens if they unfroze you? That's never worked, has it? Never been to successfully unfreeze someone. I watched a
Yeah, I don't
documentary on it in
think
school called The Iceman.
we're getting on to this biology. Andrew, can you unfreeze
Yeah,
someone?
can you?
Currently no. Because of the way. I mean, currently we can't.
Hey, they did it in Austin Powers.
We can't unfreeze anybody, but you can. Currently, you can freeze someone, but generally they have to be dead. And then we freeze them, and then the whole idea is that eventually we'll be able to bring them back. But right now, our issue is when ice crystals form, they are too big. So a bit like it's. Think of it in terms of you can't freeze salad. So if you put salad in the freezer, and then you take it out, another great experiment.
I've never tried
well,
to freeze salad.
try it. Make sure do lettuce or something with high water content. So lettuce, cucumber. Put it in the freezer, and then take it out and just let it thaw naturally. And it absolutely loses all its structure because the cells are damaged, because of the ice crystals on the inside.
Like, so you know when like a pipe freezes, it like cracks, cracks because of the water's expanded. Is that what's happening to every cell?
Yeah, like that. That's a nice analogy to think about what it's like. Yes.
That's kind of us for the week. Andrew was expecting you to come in.
You only did one question.
Oh, sorry.
Iceland, everybody loves
Iceland.
Iceland.
Okay.
So our 8th fact about Iceland is...
Stop, Ross. Okay, next question is, or last question is from Jess, and she has asked, why is the snow white?
Why is this Snow White, or why is Snow White?
Snow White.
Why is Snow White?
Why is Snow White? Well,
Why is Snow White what?
the
White.
most beautifulest person on the mirror. Is that the one? Is that mirror on the wall? Who's the prettiest?
Yeah.
Who's the?
I get like
Prettiest
that
of them
and
all or
Cinderella
something?
mixed up. No, Sleeping Beauty.
Oh
Snow White and
no,
Sleeping Beauty
no,
are like the same
Sleeping
thing.
Beauty's. She pricks her finger and goes to sleep.
Yeah, but they're basically the same, aren't they?
No, the other one eats
No.
an apple.
One has dwarfs.
They're all different stories.
Okay, anyway.
The only one that's different is Frozen because there is no man coming to save her, and I really appreciate that.
Olaf.
Well, the true love moment is not like a man coming to swoop in and save the day. It's sisterly love. That's true love.
Okay. So, why is Snow White, Andrew?
Why is Snow White? Well,
Yeah.
let me tell you. I believe it's a little word that we call reflection. I got it right.
What's it reflecting against, though? Clouds?
So the inside of the crystal of the snowflake, the light is being reflected, and I suppose to some degree they're refracted through clearer bits, but reflecting, so it's reflecting all the light, so it's all bouncing all over the place. So therefore, and then because light is made up of Roy G. Biv, the spectrum, you're seeing all of that light together, which is what makes it white.
Ah, nice.
And let's pause.
My thoughts
while,
were just because it was just ice.
because we're gonna pause, so I can have that moment before Ross says, "Well, actually."
No, I'm going to go, yeah, well done. That's
I don't think Ross knew the answer.
What? Then please feel free to drop us a link to iReadItOS@gmail.com, or you can drop us a link on any of our social medias. We're at iReadItOS, pretty much on all social medias, and we will see you in our next episode. Thanks, guys.
Tell us your favourite animal crossovers.
Okay, bye.
Bye.